Let's talk about the hidden signs that a girl likes you. You don't want to miss this. Let's face it, figuring out if someone likes you can be really hard. Because you're nervous and not sure how to interpret the situation. And the truth is, if she likes you, she's nervous. And if she's nervous, there's a good chance she'll try to hide it because she doesn't want to embarrass herself. Now, the last thing you want is to think she likes you when she doesn't, because that hurts and can lead to many awkward moments. Or assume she doesn't like you when she actually does. So it's really important to know the hidden signs that a girl likes you. It can be really hard to know if someone is interested in you. However, I have great news for you. If she's interested in you, there will be signs. They just exist. It all comes down to body language, and reading women's body language is one of the most useful tools you can learn in life. It's truly a lifesaver throughout your entire relationship. So what I'm about to teach you will help you understand how to read women's body language. As humans, when we feel something, it manifests in our body. It just happens. We can't help it, it's completely subconscious, we don't even know we're doing it. But when we feel things, there will be signs. So even if she's really good at hiding it, if you know how to look for hidden or secret signs, you'll be able to find them. So I'm going to share 5 of these hidden signs with you today. And in the end, I'll conclude by just giving you a few words of caution that you need to be aware of so that these signs really work for you, instead of making them really embarrassing. I want to quickly mention that if this is a topic you're really interested in, I've actually made several videos about it. The first one is to look at her feet. I know it sounds kind of strange. Why would I do that? But feet tell us a lot about what a person is thinking and what's important to them. For some strange reason, body language tells us that a person's feet will tell who they're most interested in the room. It's mainly the dominant foot, but actually both feet work. So if you're standing next to a girl and talking to her, and her dominant foot is pointing away from you, it actually means she wants to go somewhere else or needs to do something else. But if that dominant foot is pointing towards you, it means you have her attention. This is also true if you're not directly in front of her, maybe you're in a large group of friends or something and she might not necessarily be beside you. If her feet, or even just the dominant foot, are pointing towards you, it means you're her focus. And isn't that amazing? It's a really useful trick. The same goes when you're sitting. If a girl crosses her legs and the leg is pointed towards you, then you know that's another very good sign that she's interested in you. The second sign is that she treats you differently. You're the exception. Let's say, for example, you notice that she often leaves the people she's with to talk to you. Or maybe she's not much of a hugger, but always makes time to hug you. Maybe she makes an extra effort to do nice things for you more often than she does for other people. If you start to notice that you're the exception, there's a good chance she's interested in you. Even with something that could be seen as negative. Like maybe she gets really nervous when interacting with you. Or maybe she becomes less talkative with you. Or maybe she becomes more talkative with you. If you're the exception, if something happens with you that doesn't seem to happen with other people, then it means you stand out for some reason. And there's a good chance it's because she really likes you. The third sign is that she focuses on you. When you're talking to her, does she check her phone, look around the room, get distracted by other things, or is she focused on you? If she's interested in you, then everything else that might be going on around her doesn't matter as much to her. You're her focus. So if she's focused on you and really engaged with you, and you notice that her feet are pointing towards you, that's a very good sign that, man, she likes you. Before we get to the next sign, I have a quick question for you. Which of these signs do you find hardest to read? Which one is the most hidden for you? I want to hear from you in the comments. The fourth sign is that she blushes. I might have mentioned this in another video. But it's such a good and more obvious sign than some of the other hidden signs. And one that is often overlooked and that I really wanted to add again. Notice if she blushes. Especially when you compliment her. Maybe compliment her a few times and see if she blushes. Because it's something we really don't have control over. We try so hard to stop it, but we can't. And that's a sign that she really can't hide it that well. So pay attention, see if she blushes. Compliment her a few times and see what happens. Last sign. She moves like you. I mentioned in this video that imitation is a fabulous way to become more attractive to a girl. It works really well and helps her feel more connected to you. So make sure to check out that video. But imitation is actually also a very good way to know if she's interested in you. As women, we naturally imitate men more often than, well, we actually just imitate more than men. This is especially true if we find you really attractive. I don't know why, we just do. And then start to notice if you move, does she tend to move shortly after into the same position? Does she have more or less the same tone of voice as you? The same speaking speed? When you laugh, does she laugh at the same time and maybe look at you? Start to notice if she kind of mimics your movements. That's a very, very subconscious sign, a very subconscious thing she'll do, but if she likes you, she'll do it. That's all for the signs. Let's just touch on a few words of caution. I really want to prepare you for success so that this works out. The first thing you need to know is to ensure that this happens repeatedly. Make sure it doesn't just happen once. Don't assume just because you saw her feet pointing towards you once that, oh my God, she really loves me. Make sure to pay attention for a little while to ensure that this keeps happening. Several days in a row that this keeps happening. That's a good sign. If it happens only once, it may or may not really mean anything. In fact, if it happens only once, it's not a very good sign. The second thing is to look for a chain of signs. I mentioned this before. The more signs you can read, the more familiar you are with women's body language, the better chance you'll have of success. Because every woman is a little different, we just are. But look for a chain of signs. For example, if you notice that her feet often point towards you, and that when you talk to her she's super focused on you and your conversation, and you notice that she blushes when you compliment her and that she moves like you, that's an incredibly good chain of signs. That means there's an incredibly good chance, almost guaranteed, that she's very interested in you. So the more signs you know, the more capable you'll be of seeing these signs, the more capable you'll be of practically guaranteeing that she's very interested in you. If you liked what you saw, be sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'd love for you to leave a comment and tell me if you want more videos about signs that a girl likes you or really anything you'd like me to cover in future videos. If you know a friend who really needs to know if a girl likes him, be sure to share as well. Thanks again, my wonderful friend, and have an amazing day. Until next time.